Hey Internet, Eric here again. Back with another movie review. Cutting to the chase. Just yesterday I saw Deadpool, and I will tell you my opinion of it. Um, First off, I know jack shit about Deadpool. I went into this film knowing almost nothing of the character. I've never read a Deadpool comic. A couple of my friends are obsessed with the character, so I know little bits and pieces. I know he has, at least with the comic, he can regenerate, injuries like Wolverine. He's an ex-mercenary, assassin, loudmouth, vulgar, childish, breaks the fourth wall, all that jazz. So I went in seeing like the trailers and the promotional videos by Ryan Reynolds, and I knew, at least I thought I was going to have a lot of fun. I saw it yesterday, and I had a fucking blast. So, if you're new to my channel, I'm going to let you know that I know it just came out a few days ago. There will be minor spoilers. Nothing too direct from this film. To spoil major plot points like character deaths and major scenes, stuff like that. I'm going to have this review kind of as vague as I can. But it just came out a few days ago, directed by Tim Miller. And I checked, and this is Tim Miller's first film, so kudos to you, dude. Wade Wilson is the main character, played by Ryan Reynolds, and Wade Wilson is a former mercenary. He's now working as like a bodyguard for hire type guy. Excuse me. And he eventually meets up with his girlfriend, would-be girlfriend Vanessa, played by Morena Baccarin. I'm sure I'm butchering her last name. She's in the TV show Gotham. She plays Detective Gordon's girlfriend. And they fall in love, and of course, when everything's going good, you find out that Wade has terminal cancer. And eventually he's met by the recruiter. That's all he's called. Played by Jed Reese. And Jed Reese, if you don't know who that is, he was one of the aliens in Galaxy Quest. And he looks really creepy here. He looks like Robert Blake's character in Lost Highway, if you've ever seen that. Jed Reese does a great job. Very small role, but very creepy. And the recruiter basically says, we can cure all of your cancer and make you basically into a superhero. And of course, Wade thinks he's full of shit, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, he says, what have I got to lose? I'm going to die anyways. I can do this, to stay with Vanessa. Goes through with the experiment, which they basically torture the hell out of him. And I'm not going to say anything there, but it's torture. And there he meets Ajax, who's played by Skrein, Skrein. I guess he was in season 3 of Game of Thrones, but then his character was replaced in season 4 by another actor. And you also meet his assistant, Angel Dust, played by Gina Carano. And this woman here everyone knows I love Ronda Rousey. I think she's one of the most beautiful women in the world when it comes to tough women. This bitch can give Ronda Rousey, a run for her money in the toughness and in the sexy category. But I'll get to her in a little bit. And they're together, and they're the ones performing the experiments on Wade Wilson. Eventually, Wade finds out what they're really doing. Wade eventually escapes. I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible. And then we meet, and Wade becomes Deadpool. Gets his outfit and everything. The standard, the outfit. And he hunts down the people that did this to him. While this is happening, X-Men members Colossus and newcomer Negasonic Teenage Warhead, played by Brianna Hildebrand. They're there to stop Wade from doing what he's doing, and Colossus is hopefully going to recruit Deadpool to become an X-Men. Eventually, Vanessa is kidnapped, and then now from a revenge movie, it becomes a rescue movie. And then that's it. All right. Basic plot without too many spoilers. Now, when this movie starts out, I knew I was going to have a blast. because it starts out, like I said, minor spoilers, with the opening credits. And the opening credits are fantastic because they're done in a humorous way. I know what I'm getting into. It says it's starring some asshole, and it's starring a British villain, and it's starring a gratuitous cameo, and the hot chick, directed by some tool. So you already know what you're getting into. You already know you're not going to take yourself too seriously, and you're going to have a good time. And we follow the exploits of Deadpool. It starts off in present time, and then we find out his backstory through flashbacks, which is great because we don't have to waste the first 45 minutes on an origin story, because it's cutting back and forth from the current action to the past, and it's done seamlessly. Ryan Reynolds, I can take or leave him. Sometimes when he's on, he's funny as hell, but when he's off, he's really annoying, like Van Wilder. I can't fucking stand Van Wilder. So when I was going into this movie, and everyone talks about, it's rated R, and it's a hard R, there, for, sexual situations, and nudity, and innuendo, and violence. So I was kind of expecting a Van Wilder American Pie type stuff, and it's not. It is nowhere near that annoying shit. But Ryan Reynolds is on. He is very hilarious. He's a good shit talker. A lot of it, you could tell came off the top of his head, which is what Deadpool, I guess, is supposed to be like. He's a great shit talker. Fantastic. Now, Marina Baccarin, who plays Vanessa, his love interest, they have a great, fantastic chemistry. You can tell that these two are in love with each other. I mean, there is a gratuitous sex scene, and it's built in for laughs, but there's also just watching them, interact with each other is so great. They are a wonderful, wonderful couple. You could tell that they were dating. They were really that you could see that they, if these characters were real, that they, how in love that they were. And that's another thing I loved about this film was it wasn't just, your stereotypical action film. There was some heart to this because Wade is doing this for his girlfriend. He's doing this for to give her a better life, and just because he is in love with this woman so much. Yeah, acting from those two is fantastic. Marina Baccarin doesn't really have anything important to do in Gotham. Here, when we get her in a major role, you can see this woman can be funny, she can be sexy, she can be strong. Yeah, great performance. The villains are really good. We got Ajax, played by Skrein. I thought he was just going to be a stereotypical throwaway villain, but when we finally see him in action, he's very intimidating. He's very sadistic. The fight scenes between him and Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, are fantastic. The first one before he becomes actual Deadpool, as Wade is trying to break out of where he's having the experiments done on him. Very brutal, very raw. Very, very painful in a lot of it. And Skrein, however, I guess I'm butchering his name, I don't fucking care, but he's really good. He's really intimidating, he's really methodical, he's really sadistic. A very, very good villain. I wish there was a little bit more of him. Then we have like I said, Gina Carano as Angel Dust. Very, very easy on the eyes, but you know what? She's not the stereotypical tough chick. Silent. She's got some good personality to her. There is a scene where her, Angel Dust, and Colossus have this brutal, hand-to-hand fight with each other, and Colossus is knocking the shit out of her. She's knocking the shit out of him. Very, very, very brutal fight. Very well done. This chick is a badass. I'll tell you what. This movie, I'd never seen her before. I'd never heard of her before. This is making me want to check out some of her MMA fights. Now, there's a couple side characters that I really love. One is Weasel, Wade's bartender friend, played by T.J. Miller. And he's there for the comic relief. And he's there, and he's so fucking funny. Just anything this man says is gold. You'd think he'd be like the annoying sidekick. Not at all. He's a smart ass, but he's also a good person. You can tell he cares about Wade and what he's going through. but then he also will then say something about, you know, how he is in this for like himself and only his personal gain. But the rapport between T.J. Miller and Ryan Reynolds when they're going back and forth at it, it's hilarious. When Wade finally meets up with T.J. after the experiment, you see how Wade's face is disfigured, and you've seen it all in the trailers and the previews. But just how T.J. is saying something about how Ryan is so ugly, and then Ryan goes back, and they go back and forth, and it's crisp. It's like, you know, perfect, seamless. We have the final character I'm going to talk about is the new X-Men, the new X-Man or whatever. Negasonic Teenage Warhead, played by Brianna Hildebrand. I've never, ever fucking heard of this X-Men character in my life. And there's like over 200 characters, so you know what to expect. But this was a very likable character too. She is, and Deadpool brings this up, she's like the stereotypical angry, short-haired teen who looks really pissed off all the time and then says like an asshole type, you know, remark. And Brianna Hildebrand does that, but she does it and makes this character likable and badass. And then when you finally see Teenage Warhead in action, fantastic special effects, very intimidating, really, really cool. I love how Colossus is a bigger character here. Colossus was one of my favorite X-Men growing up. And what's sad to say is he didn't get a lot of screen time in any of the X-Men films. Here, he's got a damn good amount of screen time. He's very intimidating. He's very loyal. His comic relief is very good. I love a lot of the times when they try to make him funny and it works. But he's also he's a very good, I guess, being the heart of the film. Like, he's trying to recruit Deadpool to the X-Men. He's trying to have Wade look inside himself and bring out the good. Use your powers for good. And I didn't write down the actor who plays Colossus because there's a motion capture actor and then there's a voice actor, and I'm not getting into that. You can Wikipedia that yourself. But Colossus was great. I loved seeing, like I said, the fight between him and Angel Dust is great. And then there's a fight between him and Deadpool. And it's when Deadpool has killed a bunch of the guys that were working for Ajax, and of course, you know, Teenage Warhead and Colossus are there to stop Deadpool and recruit him and take him back to, you know, the X Mansion. And without spoiling this, because this scene here had me laughing my fucking ass off, Deadpool tries to fight Colossus and is unsuccessful. That's all I'm going to say. Laughed my ass off the entire time. And then the way Deadpool gets away from Colossus, I'm not going to spoil that either, but it was fantastic. I did not see it coming. Jesus Christ. There's so much. The soundtrack in this film. The movie starts with Angel in the Morning. And it's a slow motion shot of a car wreck while this wonderful pop song is playing. They use Salt and Pepper's Shoop as Deadpool's getting ready to kill some of the bad guys. They throw in a Wham song, which is fantastic. When did you ever think you would see a film with Wham and the Wham song worked? There's a Deadpool rap thrown in. I guess it was from the Deadpool video game. And fantastic. It's during a montage of, I'm just going to call it the Where's Ajax montage, where Deadpool is going from criminal to criminal trying to find Ajax. Yeah, the fourth wall breaking was great. So much fun. And like I said, I mentioned some characters. One of my favorite characters is actually Al. And Al is an old blind lady that Wade lives with while he's healing up. And just the rapport and the way that they talk to each other had me in stitches. This was probably the most fun I've had in a movie, seeing a movie in the theater since Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's Deadpool is worth all the hype. I'm glad there's already a greenlit sequel. You could tell Ryan Reynolds loves this movie. Oh, the fourth wall breaking is perfect. And there's a lot of shit talking to other films. Though the scenes where Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool rip on the Green Lantern is great. There's a lot of jabs at X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's great. And Hugh Jackman, man. Hugh Jackman, from what I've read, is one of the nicest men in the world. And I've heard him and Ryan Reynolds became good buds. But man, that man takes a beating from Ryan Reynolds. And I'm not going to spoil any of those. But let's just say the unmasking scene at the end. That's it. That one had me fucking, laughing my ass off in the theater. And then one of the best Stan Lee cameos ever, which I won't spoil. Yeah, what am I at? 15 minutes? There's not much else I can say about Deadpool other than fantastic action, great soundtrack, fun movie, wonderful performances, great fight scenes, brutal fight scenes, good villains, great new characters. Like I said, I loved Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Loved how we finally get more character development of Colossus. We get to see more of him. And his fight with Angel Dust is fantastic. And this is rated R for a reason. It earns its rated R reason, rating. Like I said, this is, just to put it this way, here's a mini spoiler. But it's no one important. Deadpool kills a man by cutting off his head with one of his katanas, and then he spins around, does a roundhouse kick, kicks the head, and nails another one of the villains. So it's rated R and violent, but it's also creative with its kills. There was a lot of oh shit moments with the violence in this film, but it was great. Like I said, it's not over gratuitous with like the innuendos. It's not really bad. I was expecting a lot worse. Yeah. Flat out fun fucking movie. That's my review right there. You can have this poster and it'll say Eric, fun fucking movie. So yeah, definitely go see Deadpool. Check it out. You will have fun. If you don't, you're a communist bastard. I'll stand by that. So in the end, thank you for watching. Hopefully you check out my other stuff if you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to get likes, subscribes, views, all that shit. Please comment, interact below. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, all that usual shit. And cheers. And if you ever have to, go up against Deadpool, just make sure you wear the brown pants.